Thank you very much. Really moving lyrics there. Yeah, it's good to go from lyrics to poetry. So yeah, I'm Laila from Bards Without Borders. And as we heard, Bards Without Borders came together in 2016 around the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death. So we were looking at what was going to be done to commemorate this event, and we saw there was a massive gap in terms of refugee and migrant voice. And it made sense to us because Shakespeare is very much a borderless writer. His work is translated into so many languages, to the point where sometimes Shakespeare is taught at the expense of the writers of that country. I know that my own family in India and Pakistan learnt Shakespeare at the expense of all the writers of their own country. So there is definitely something around Shakespeare being used in cultural colonialisation still these days. So we wanted to challenge Shakespeare, not just commemorate him for the sake of it, which is why our show was called Shakespeare's Dead, Get Over It. So Bards Without Borders is myself. I'm a poet, and it was co-founded by Arne Pollmeyer, who's a German theatre director, and Tom Green from Counterpoints Arts, which is the refugee arts network for the UK. And we brought together a group of 12 refugee and migrant poets in London. Between them, they had about 10 different languages, at least. So we were very keen for the poetry, the new poetry, responding to Shakespeare, to be written across languages. So they were not only translating Shakespeare and responding to it in sometimes dual language, but they were also taking characters from Shakespeare and translating them into their own experiences. So Shakespeare was travelling around, and very soon you'll be hearing about Lady Macbeth in Mogadishu. So we were able to have a lot of fun challenging the concepts within Shakespeare, and there's so many themes of exile within the Shakespeare plays. You're spoilt for choice. And yeah, we were taking our performance to different venues, and often we'd be the only non-white British performers, let's say, at the Ledbury Poetry Festival. And there's still something to be done in the poetry world for trying to broaden the voices that are heard. It's getting a lot better, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done for making sure that opportunities are given and that there is a space to grow as writers when you've perhaps lost your language, you've lost your country, you've lost your publisher, you've lost your audiences, and you're starting right from scratch in a new place. So other things about... So we're very aware that Shakespeare has been used sort of colonially, and we're very aware that sometimes literature can be twisted round and used to justify wars, can be used to exclude people, and can be used to fan nationalism. So we're very keen to continue challenging the use of, you know, national writers. And we've done a project recently on patriotism, and Bards Without Borders have also been working with the Tate Modern to interpret new artwork on refugee rights and migration. So without further ado, let's hear from Hamdi, who has some poems to share with us.